What a great setting this is, just outside of downtown Hartford in the American. Perfect weather for an undefeated Cincinnati team paying a visit on UConn. Partner, what a turnaround for Cincinnati. A win today, and all of a sudden they are 5-0.
It's amazing. Luke Fickell in his second season, what he's able to do, getting these players playing tougher, playing harder. His growth as a head coach is shown on the football field with his play calling and all that good stuff. But these players right now, they look tremendous. They're playing with a lot of passion. I'm excited to see what they can do today.
Well, they came out last week trying to go 4-0, and they fell flat on their face, at least to start. Ohio went up 21-0. But 92-yard fourth-quarter touchdown drive. Desmond Ridder led it. Michael Warren with a 3-yard run. The Bobcats of Ohio still had time. James Wiggins with the pick sealed the comeback win for Cincinnati. Today we get a look at two very talented quarterbacks.
Very talented quarterbacks, not only throwing the football, but extremely dynamic. Once they decide to pull it down, you'll see a lot of designed quarterback runs all day long. Desmond Ridder, love his progress so far in his young career. And then David Pindell, really his ability, I mean, where he goes, this team goes. He's going to have a big afternoon if UConn wants to have a chance for the upset.
UConn's young defense has to play well today. Cincinnati trying to get to 5-0 in the American. It's Cincinnati and UConn.
Shaquem, get in here. Take your razor, yep. All right, up and down, never side to side, Shaquem, you got it? Come on, get back. King, you're second behind your brother. Stay focused. Can't nobody beat you. Ain't nobody beat you.
All work, baby. Gonna pay off. You got this.
With 141st pick, the Seattle Seahawks select.
All right, you got it, Shaquem. All right, let me see.
All right, Corey, let's break down our final numbers here. Wrapping things up from UB Stadium, all Army today.
Yeah, it was, and I think it was just one of those performances you can build from, particularly defensively, because they were able to hold a prolific offense. Remember, 255 total yards for the Bulls. Tyreen Jackson was averaging 263 yards passing coming into the game.
Early touchdown, Jackson to KJ Osborne, and that was it through the air for Tyree Jackson, having an All-American type here until he ran into the Army defense today. Now for Corey Chavis, the entire CBS Sports Network crew, it's Dave Ryan saying so long from Buffalo. It's been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Now let's send you out to East Hartford, Connecticut. Rich Walsh, Aaron Murray on the call. Cincinnati takes on UConn in the American Conference.
Late September, gorgeous time to be in Hartford, Connecticut. In the American, Desmond Ridder and Cincinnati sit at 4-0. They open conference play against David Pindell and UConn. On this gorgeous sunny afternoon, college football on CBS Sports Network, presented by the Home Depot. We're in the American, Cincinnati at 4-0, UConn at 1-3. Hi, everybody. Rich Waltz along with Aaron Murray. I think this is an under-the-radar story in college football. Cincinnati won 4 games last year, only 4 games the year before. They win this one, they're 5-0.
It starts with the head man, Luke Fickell. You said it best, Rich. A team that had 4 wins 2 previous seasons, all of a sudden had an opportunity today to get that 5th win. You see it with the offense, you see it on defense. They're playing more disciplined. They know what they're doing, and there's just a lot of confidence right now with this football team.
And that offense starts with the running game. As we do Project Smarter, brought to you by the Home Depot and Michael Warren II.
It starts with Michael Warren. They call him the truck, and that's for a reason. He gets downhill, and he gets downhill fast. Every time you see him, he's falling forward. His ability to gain yards in this offense is key. And then you have a very talented quarterback as well in Desmond Ridder. His ability to read the defensive end and then get yards with his feet is going to be critical tonight, Rich.
UConn's problems are not on offense. David Pindell is a terrific quarterback, man, and he's worth the watch.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see him not just run the football. We know what he can do with his legs, but his ability to throw the football down the field, it's getting more and more accurate. He's being more comfortable in the pocket, but then when he does take off, man, oh man, is he special running the football.
He's the biggest weapon for Randy Edsall in his second year, in his second go-round as the head coach at Connecticut. And Luke Fickell, we talked about him, the former Ohio State linebacker, Ohio State assistant, getting the head job at Cincinnati. And this is year number 2. Weather, absolutely perfect, 72 degrees, little bit of a breeze, and obviously a beautiful day for football. UConn will get the football first. Cincinnati last week narrowly escaped an upset at the hands of Ohio. They have a terrific defense, and UConn certainly would love to put a win on the board and get themselves headed in the right direction. And here we go. Into the end zone and to a knee and into our starting lineups. All right, we told you about David Pindell. He can throw the ball as well.
Yeah, everyone wants to talk about his ability to run, but as you see here, 66% completion so far this season. He's really stepped it up a notch. It starts with his lower half, though. He's more comfortable in the pocket. He just needs his line to give him 3-4 seconds to find his receivers and tight ends down the football field.
He's got 3 receivers and a big tight end flexed at the bottom of your screen. That's Tyler Davis. Pindell, little toss. Kevin Mensah gets around the edge, and Mensah across the 35. That's a gain of 12. It's 1st and 10, and a nice play for UConn.
And that's a great job by Ryan Vandermark on the outside. You see the big tackle getting on the outside, leading up for his running back, and that's a great start for this offense.
This offense can put yardage and points up. They're averaging over 400 yards a game and 25 points a game as well. Pindell, the senior, on a team full of freshmen. He'll throw. Blitz coming. Hit as he throws. Gets it off. And it's caught there. Aaron McLean with the catch. The senior tight end. And a big one.
And David Pindell, one of his best throws, watch him so far this year. His accuracy down the football field. That's an absolute dime, dropping it over the linebacker. And we talked to the coaches. Aaron McLean, his ability, lengthy tight end down the field, to be able to go up and make those types of catches for your quarterback.
That's a 51-yard gain. McLean's still in there, in motion. And Pindell's going to keep it, and he's got an opening. Pindell down to the 6. UConn has come out, and with some big haymakers, is on the doorstep.
Yeah, the Cincinnati defense needs to wake up. Right now, they look like they're a little bit of asleep to start this game. Great read, but great blocking. The big question mark was this offensive line. Can they handle the front 7 of Cincinnati? They're bigger, they're stronger, they're faster. But right now, the game plan seems to be working for this offense.
1st and goal from the 6. This is Mensah. Hit at the 5 and gets to the 4. You've seen Aaron McLean in action on this UConn offense. Tyler Davis, the other tight end, is a great target.
I really like these tight ends for this UConn offense. They're dynamic, not only blocking, but down the field. You just saw the previous 2 plays ago. They're able to stretch the field vertically, and you gotta love a matchup when you get a tight end on a linebacker and a tight end on a safety. I'll take that any day as a quarterback.
2nd and goal, just inside the 5. Blitz comes. Pindell, quick toss, caught there, touchdown UConn. Kyle Buss.
It's a great quick play action. You see Kyle Buss coming from the right to left. Does a great job sneaking behind his offensive line. And then the defense is just out of position with the play action. Can't recover. And that's a great first possession for this UConn offense.
John Dunn, the offensive coordinator. Flag is down. Kick is good.
Offside, defense, penalties decline, the result of the play is the try is good. Timeout.
Well designed and well executed, 75 yards.
And that's an unbelievable job by this UConn offense, running it, passing it. It all starts with Pindell. His accuracy throwing the football on the run right there.
Introducing Sonic's new game plan.
Yeah, right now for Cincinnati, they need to stay balanced. We know they can run the football. I want to see them get a little bit more of a vertical attack and then contain Pindell in the pocket. That's key for their defense. And then for UConn, continue to be creative with the pass protection. You're going against a bigger defensive line. Shifts and motions, get a way to slow them down. And then their defense, they're going to have to stop Cincinnati from getting the running back downhill and being able to get 4 to 5 yards a pop.
That 51-yard throw from Pindell to Aaron McLean, the big play there. And look, UConn's looking for any ray of sunshine they can find, so Randy Edsall is fired up to watch his team come out and execute like that.
It's the small victors. We're going to talk about the youth on this football team. Any small victory, we're going to see if they can continue that with some great momentum after a great first drive.
James Wiggins at the goal line, and Wiggins bounces outside. Good tackle there. He's out to the 27. Cue the cow. Chick-fil-A starting lineups. Tell me about Desmond Ridder.
Really have liked what I've seen so far from him. Once again, a very accurate quarterback, 63.5%, 6 touchdowns and only 1 interception. That's the key. When you see young quarterbacks, you want to see, are they taking care of the football? He has so far this year. I want to see now if he can take that next step, trusting his O-line, and then trusting his receivers to let it go vertically down the football field.
This is a ground-based offense for the Bearcats, who sit at 4-0 with a win on the road at UCLA on their resume. And Michael Warren on the dive, tripped up by Omar Forts. Cincinnati's offense, another tight end to talk about, Josiah DeGuara.
And he's getting more and more physical as a tight end, but you're going to see him a lot motioning across, little throws into the flat. Really, this offense starts with the running game, and then secondly, it starts with the tight ends.
There's a gain of 6, 2nd and 4. Warren is averaging almost 110 yards a game. The starting tailback had 142 against UCLA. Ridder to the air, wide open there is Khalil Lewis, and he's got a first down across the 40 to the 42. Shamel Lazarus made the stop. This is the youngest defense ever. I'm not kidding. 7 freshmen start, 4 sophomores start, and of those 7 freshmen, 5 are true freshmen, including Kavon Jones.
It's communication. It starts with the linebackers. Can they communicate to get this young defense lined up properly?
Ridder, time to the sideline, and taking a knee and making the catch is Thomas Geddes. That's a first down. Cincinnati is moving right now. Well, this is the problem for Randy Edsall and UConn. 13 true freshmen on the 2 deep on defense. So of the 22 players they're going to play, 13 were in high school last year. And then you got 5 sophomores, no juniors, just 2 seniors. Charles McClellan's outstanding tackle there. Tyler Coyle, the sophomore safety, came up to make the stop.
That's a great tackle coming from the safety position. He understands as a safety in this game, it's going to be heavy downhill. He leads the team with 41 tackles so far this season, and that's a great sign right there. If you're able to tackle the Cincinnati defense for 1 and 2 yard gains, put them behind the change, and let's see if Desmond Ridder can win throwing the football.
Saw Jonathan Pace come in and join the defensive front. It's a 4-man even front for UConn. Ridder to the air, swing pass, Warren at the 40, he's met, and that's Coyle again, sideline to sideline. The sophomore safety with 2 stops.
And this could be right now around the 35-yard line, 4 down territory for the Cincinnati offense. So we'll see. I would rather give it on a dive right now to the truck to Michael Warren, and let's see if he can get you the first down. If not, it's going to be a 4th and short, and then once again, you can give it to your big running back, see if you can get the first down.
You see UConn right now having trouble getting the right number of people on the field. They're going to have to take a timeout.
UConn takes its first time out of the half.
And Rich, that's what we talk about with a young freshman defense. You're going to see early timeouts in games, getting communicated when an offense wants to go fast, getting lined up. But for the majority of this game, you're going to see very base. Where we talked about 4 down, 3 linebackers, not a lot of exotic blitzes or coverages, because you just have too many freshmen with a lack of playing experience. You just want to get them lined up and playing fast.
Randy Edsall's upset. He is claiming he did not call a timeout. Luke Fickell right now discussing things with our referee. That's Mike Roche. And we'll find out if they did charge them with the timeout. For now, it's 3rd down and 1. Cincinnati on the move. UConn went 75 yards with their first possession. And the Bearcats are rolling right now. Warren in the backfield. This is Warren, and he busts through, has the first down, and more. He's inside the 15. Tyler Coyle makes his 3rd straight tackle.
That's a great job. They bring in Bruno LaBelle, backup tight end, more of a blocker, but really a great job by this offensive line, creating this hole right here. You see between the center and right guard. And we knew this is what UConn is gonna have to stop, the dive down the middle, whether it's bringing in extra safety, an extra linebacker to be able to clog the hole up.
1st and 10. Cincinnati inside the 14. Again, it's Warren, the sophomore out of Toledo. He had 124 yards last week. His nickname to 5'11", 218 is the Truck.
Yeah, the Truck really gets going. We've seen it so far this game, but he gets going the 3rd and 4th quarter of each game. You see it. Last year, only 1 touchdown. So far this season, already 8 touchdowns. 3 of the 4 games has had multiple touchdowns as well. Been really dynamic and being the workload for this offense so far.
That was a 4-yard carry, 2nd down and 6. Warren again, as UConn tries to stop the dive. It's right on the stick. Santana Sterling made the stop. Let's see if they give him the first down. And it's marked just short. It'll be 3rd down and less than a yard. And again, UConn will change their defense, bringing 4 different players in. Desmond Ritter, redshirt freshman quarterback, has looked sharp on this drive.
Once again, Bruno LaBelle, the blocking tight end, is in a motion. Look to run behind him.
There's the dive. He's hit and falls forward. Warren has the first down. And the Bearcats now with 1st and goal at the 3-yard line of UConn.
And this is the big disadvantage. You look at Cincinnati's offensive line. They average 6'5", 310 pounds. And then you look at the other side, UConn. They're freshmen. They haven't fully developed their bodies. They're a little lighter. And so Cincinnati feels like they can line up and just completely manhandle the front 4 and front 7.
Warren again, and he is stood up at the 1.
That's a big play by UConn's defense, meeting at the line of scrimmage right there, and then using your legs to continue to turn to make sure the running back doesn't get in the end zone. Right now for Cincinnati, they have a 14 package, so 4 tight ends are on the field. They feel very comfortable with their ability to block since they don't have a true fullback on this offense.
They got the Truck in the backfield, Warren. And this time Ritter's going to keep it and score. And Cincinnati has an answer.
Great job by Ritter. You've been running it, the dive, the dive, the dive. Everyone crashes down defensively. He pulls it, phenomenal read. And that's an easy walk-in touchdown on the run option right there.
Look at that, 11 plays, 74 yards. A whole lot of offense in the first half of this first quarter. 2 possessions, 2 long drives, and a 7-7 start in the sunshine in Hartford. Bearcats on the road, Desmond Ritter in the end zone, 7 apiece.
On CBS Sports Network is sponsored by The Home Depot. More saving, more doing. By Ram Trucks, built to serve. And by Chick-fil-A Nuggets. Tonight is Nugget Night.
And that's what UConn is trying to recapture. Last winning season, 2010, Randy Edsall was the coach. They went to the Fiesta Bowl, and then he went to Maryland. Now he is back. But that run really put them on the college football map. Obviously, a rebuilding effort here. They were 3-9 and 2-6, 1-3 with an ultra-young defense coming into this one. Good deep kick there by Cole Smith. And UConn gets the football now. So, David Pindell, everyone talks about his feet. He's multidimensional, but the scouting report on him as a thrower.
I like what I see when his offensive line gives him adequate amount of time to look downfield, go through his progressions. He's worked really hard at keeping a great base, which helps with the accuracy, especially on the downfield throws, but the touch, we've seen it all season long. His ability to get the ball up and down over linebackers and over safeties has been very impressive.
This is Mensah now. We'll see what adjustments the Cincinnati defense has made. And this is a defense that is the best right now in the American. How about in the middle? Cortez Broughton, the senior.
It's really the two defensive tackles, but especially Cortez Broughton. 3.5 sacks so far this season, 8.5 tackles for loss. He is a monster with stopping the run and then getting after the quarterback.
2nd and 9, Pindell, little shovel underneath. That's McLean, the tight end, and it goes nowhere. This is 3rd down and long, call it 8.
And Perry Young does a great job. Outside linebacker, not getting fooled with the quarterback rolling out, looking like it's going to be a pass. Stays in his position, uses his eyes well, and then makes a tackle to get to 3rd and long.
Four-receiver look for Pindell. He's out of Columbia, Maryland. And a 4-man rush with time over the middle. Got a man. It's caught there. Kyle Buss.
And let's just count. Let's feel how much time he has in the pocket. Does a great job keeping great balance with his lower half. And that's a beautifully accurate ball down the football field. 2 high safeties. The sweet spot's right down the middle, which he found for the big 1st down conversion right there.
First drive, he had a 51-yard completion to McLean. That's 26 yards to Kyle Buss. And a 1st and 10, Kevin Mensah straight ahead. The little sophomore, 5'9", 197 pounds. And he'll pick up 4 yards on the carry. As I said, UConn's issues are not on offense. This is a fun offense to watch, and they've put up points and they've put up yards.
Well, the big question offensively, though, if you want to pick something out for them to improve on, is this offensive line. They're smaller. Most of the guys weigh around 290, going against 310 to 320-pound defensive linemen. So that is a little bit of an issue for the offense. But right now, they look like they're giving their quarterback plenty of time.
Mensah is swallowed up by Marquise Copeland. John Dunn spent the last 2 years with the Chicago Bears and is the offensive coordinator here. Was a quarterback at North Carolina. He really likes his quarterback. He likes David Pindell.
And he wishes he had him for another year. He's like, man, I finally get a very good quarterback, a mobile quarterback, a quarterback who's accurate with the football, but you get him for 1 season. And it would have been fun to see if he would have had the ability to keep Pindell for another year, what he could have done.
And see what he draws up here on 3rd down and 8. Blitz comes. Pindell's flushed. Throws a good deep ball. This one over the head of Buss. No flags. And Cincinnati's defense has held at their own 45-yard line.
And that's a great job by this defense, bringing the pressure, making Pindell feel a little bit uncomfortable in the pocket. But then they had a spy. They had an extra linebacker to make sure if he does get outside, don't give him enough room to then take off with his legs.
Luke Magliozzi, and he is an Aussie. And that's a perfect end-over-end punt right down to the 12-yard line. Alden Knight makes a fair catch. 7-7 in the American.
The demands.
7 apiece here in Hartford. Monday night, 6 Eastern. Join CBS Sports Network as our team of NFL experts breaks down all the Week 4 action exclusively from a quarterback's perspective. Don't miss NFL Monday Quarterback on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Rich Waltz, Aaron Murray here in Hartford. Luke Fickell's Bearcats looked pretty good their last drive.
Yeah, they did a great job mixing it up between the run, the pass, getting it to their playmakers on the edge. But then the most important thing, the downhill dive by Michael Warren, and then a great read. When you continue to get the dive 4 or 5 yards, you're going to see the defense suck in, and then you're going to see a very talented quarterback be able to pull the ball and then use his legs to get yardage down the football field.
Ritter won the job in the spring and in the fall, and in that opener against UCLA. Dump it down to DeGuara, and the big man rumbles across the 30 to the 34-yard line. 6'3", 242 out of Folsom, California.
And they love this play. The zone read is not there. Then the quarterback has the option to run the football. Everyone sucks up to him. Then he can dump it off to his tight ends. It's almost like a triple option that you see the Georgia Techs, the Air Forces of the world run. It's a very similar type of offense, but just out of the shotgun.
Charles McClellan's in motion out of the backfield. Quick trigger there, and a nice catch. That's DeGuara, the junior. He's their best receiving tight end. They have 4 tight ends, and they all seem to have a specific skill.
Yeah, some of them are meant to block, some are meant to go out there and catch the pass, like Josiah, but they're all very talented. I think they can all catch. Very dynamic.
Ritter, little bubble screen there. That's Geddes, and he's across the 45 to the 47. And now you start to talk about UConn's defense. They need something to go right. They need a stop, because it's been a long 4 games for this bunch. They've given up 664 yards per game.
That's a lot, but that's what you expect. When you're playing this many freshmen, it's hard to really get these guys to be playing at the top of what they could be. They're building right now. This is a building process.
That's Medeiros, Rashad Medeiros with the catch. And he's into UConn territory to the 40-yard line. And Desmond Ritter looks really sharp right now. That's Billy Crocker, his 2nd year as the defensive coordinator for UConn. That man has the toughest job in college football. 7 freshman starters. The rest are sophomores.
He's working on right now just getting them lined up properly, getting him lined up in his 4-3 defense, when really you want to work on schemes, exotic blitzes, and finding ways to get them to be better.
Michael Warren's back in, and Warren's got a 9-yard carry. Now, in fall camp, when they got together, they looked at their defense the first few days of practice. They had to change the defense. They had to simplify it, and just look at the numbers.
Yeah, you talked about it, Rich. They were originally a 3-3-5 type of defense, 3 down linemen, 3 linebackers, and more guys in the back end. They looked at their personnel and said, we can't do that. We need to convert it to a 4-3. So right now, very limited playbook. And we're going to see if these freshmen can continue to learn. We're going to see if more comes on their plate.
2nd and 1. Ritter pulls it, fires it, and Coyle almost had it there. DeGuara was the intended receiver.
And talking with the coaches, these are the type of plays that scare you with Ritter. He takes chances at times when things aren't there, or maybe he feels a little bit of pressure in his face. He'll just throw it up to double coverage. The guy's not open. He needs to stop doing that, and just sometimes you got to take a sack. A sack is better than throwing an interception.
3rd down and 1 on that first drive. When in doubt, turn around and hand it to Michael Warren. He had 40 yards on that first drive, and he's back in there for this 3rd down and 1. Warren's not going to get it. He falls forward, short of the first down, 4th down, and less than a yard.
Ian Swinson on the outside. You see UConn, they're committed to stopping the dive right there. Not enough bodies to block, and Ian Swinson did a great job crashing down. And you see offense still out there, which is something I would do. You're kind of in a long field goal territory. You have a big physical running back. Spread them out, get a light box, and see if you can once again pound it down there for a 1st down.
4th down 1. See the play clock at 5. They better hurry, and they have to burn a timeout. Cincinnati calls a timeout just as the play clock was about to expire. Luke Fickell, in his 2nd season, 15 years at Ohio State. Of course, he was a linebacker there, coached linebackers, was a defensive coordinator last 5 years. Given the job at Cincinnati, they were 4-8 last year and just 2-6 in the American. He's brought that Ohio State mentality and experience with him. He wants to be able to run the ball first and then throw it.
But also the culture of winning and not giving up and continue to fight. We saw it last week. You're down significantly in the first half. The ability to get in there at halftime, look your players in the face, and come out there and dominate that second half. That is the winning mentality that he's brought to this Cincinnati football team.
Mike Denbrock's his offensive coordinator. What does he dial up 4th and 1?
Give it to your best player right here. You know, you're bigger offensively in the offensive line. You have a very big running back at 218 pounds.
Well, they certainly have spread him out. Let's see if the box is light enough. Warren back there with Ritter. They'll throw it. Ritter does, dumps it, and it's Warren with the catch. Flags go down, and Warren is out of bounds. It almost sounded like the whistle came before he was out of bounds. The flag certainly did.
Well, this could be a legal pick on the receiver on the outside. That's why he was able to get so wide open in the flat.
There is no foul for offensive pass interference as the ball is caught behind the line of scrimmage. The result of the play is a first down.
And you were right. The difference is the ball was caught behind the line of scrimmage.
And that's the key. When you're going to have these routes, these receivers trying to pick on the outside, we'll see. It looks like the ball was caught at the first down marker, actually.
That's close.
Cincinnati got lucky with that one because that should have been an illegal pick. Bring it back for a 4th and long.
So it is 1st down and 10. This drive continues just outside the 25-yard line. Ritter pumping, throwing in and out of the hands of Khalil Lewis. Right at the goal line. Omar Fort on the coverage.
Almost looked like Khalil Lewis had the option to do a corner route or a post route. That's why the timing was a little bit off, but an accurate throw. And if you're going to be the #1 guy of this receiving core, you got to make that catch for the touchdown.
Good strong throw, though, by Ritter. Louisville, Kentucky, home for Ritter. Redshirted last year. They gave him a lot of responsibility as a redshirt, as a guy that was sitting out, and it has really paid off. That's a nice throw. Medeiros with the catch inside the 15, out at the 13. Rashad Medeiros.
And this is a great throw right here. You see it nice and easy, not trying to muscle the ball, but that's a tough throw going from the left hash, these quick outs to the right. It's all timing and it's all accuracy. And so far, besides the one throw, he almost threw a pick, Desmond Ritter. He's looked very accurate and very calm in the pocket.
These are two very good quarterbacks, and they've played well early. Cincinnati on the move. Ritter will pull it, trying to get outside, inside the 10 to the 5, and he's out of bounds at the 3. He's got the first down, 1st and goal, Cincinnati.
Did a great job right there. Pierce Devon, defensive end for UConn, crashes on the play. And it's a tough thing. These plays, these run option plays, they happen so fast for a quarterback. You have to make sure you grip the ball strong in case you do pull it and take it off with your legs.
Both teams with touchdowns here in the first quarter. Cincinnati on the doorstep right now. You're watching college football on CBS Sports Network, presented by the Home Depot.
Susan wanted to turn the garage.
The American. This weekend, the American Football Coaches Association annual Coach to Cure MD initiative is an attempt to raise awareness for Duchenne muscular dystrophy, a genetic disorder in young men. 10,000 coaches across the country are participating. To learn more, go to www.coachtocuremd.org. Luke Fickell has got the patch on here for Cincinnati, and Cincinnati is on the UConn 3-yard line. Desmond Ritter, the Cincinnati quarterback, has been splendid so far. Play action, and rolling, and throwing, and it's incomplete. Good coverage in the corner there. Josiah DeGuara was the intended receiver.
That's tremendous coverage on the outside. Had his tight end early for a split second. Those balls you have to throw high in the air. But O'Neal Robinson did a great job covering them up late right for the, again, the 2nd down and 3.
Look at this drive. 85 yards on a dozen plays, and it's eaten up almost 5 minutes. Warren stops at the 2. Santana Sterling in the middle of a bunch of Huskies. And there's Billy Crocker hoping that this ultra young and inexperienced defense can make a stop here on the goal line.
Yeah, I want to see Cincinnati go back to what we saw the first possession there inside the 5-yard line. Spread the defense out a little bit more and then use the run option and allow your quarterback to pull it if necessary.
They've got them spread out. Third and goal. Warren in, touchdown. Ball loose, but he had it long enough. And the Bearcats another long, impressive touchdown drive.
That's a great job by this offensive line. But really, Eddie Hahn, linebacker for UConn right there. Bad fill by him. His gap was open to make the tackle. He gets sucked inside a little bit too far. Allows the line to hook him inside and then create that hole for the touchdown.
Look at that last year, 2017. Just 11 rushing touchdowns, 9 already for Warren himself. Cincinnati is 4-0, and they're showing why right now.
And run, run, run. Michael Warren behind his left side of his offensive line gets in for another touchdown.
Cincinnati a 14-7 lead early here in the second quarter. Join our Tops crew bright and early tomorrow morning. Get you ready at 8 Eastern for a jam-packed day of NFL football. Unmatched analysis, bold predictions from the football experts on that other pregame show on CBS Sports Network.
And when you're reading the zone read as a quarterback, you're going to read the defensive end, as we see here, Pierce Devon. They're getting sick of this running down your throat, down your throat. You see him bite, and it opens up the running back, or the quarterback, excuse me, to take it on the outside. And then it's just, you just can't beat it. You want to take the quarterback out, then the dive is going to go right down your throat, and then vice versa. It's tough. It's tough with a very good offensive line, and then it makes it extremely tough when you have a running back like Michael Warren, who has 9 touchdowns on the season.
And a little tune-up on the sideline right now, trying to stretch Warren out. He's been effective in this one for sure. The truck needs a tune-up every now and then. Tyler Coyle from the 6. And Coyle with the football across the 25 to the 27-yard line. They call him the truck. And a touchdown machine all of last year. In a 4-win season, 11 rushing touchdowns. He's got 9 already.
Yeah, he's been unbelievable these first 4 games, 5 games of this season. Been the workhorse. This offense runs through him. But I want to see, can Desmond Ridder continue to be smart with the football, take it when it's necessary, and then throw the ball vertically down the football field to make these holes even bigger for the run game.
Look at the time of possession there. Cincinnati has eaten up clock. Their defense has been on the field a lot, and Fickell fires it across the line of scrimmage and out of bounds.
Intentional grounding should be the call here. There's no one in the vicinity of this pass. We'll see if we get a late flag. Yes, we do.
No receiver over there, but you know what? Luke Fickell says,
I'm an athlete. I can make those catches.
So lost it down at the spot of the foul. Second down.
And you're right, intentional grounding.
It's just a great coverage sack. No one open down the field. And then a tremendous push by the defensive front to force the quarterback into a bad decision right there.
It's a loss of down. And on second down, Kevin Mensah with the carry. And a long third down coming up. Let's head to New York in a moment. Flag stops all of that. And we'll wait for the call. It's going to be a long third down unless the penalty marches UConn backwards.
Personal foul, face mask on the defense. That 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run, automatic, first down.
Our independent craft brewery update from New York. here, Cincinnati in the American, trying to go to 5-0, and impressively, there's 2 long touchdown drives. That penalty against Cincinnati is going to give UConn a much-needed first down. Huskies had a 75-yard touchdown drive, their first possession. And this is Pindell on a quarterback draw, and he stumbles across the 40, but a nice gain of 6. James Wiggins made the stop.
And we're going to see the design draws, power plays with the quarterback. And what it does, it adds another blocker with the running back. So if you want to have a heavy box, a 7th defender in the box, utilize the running back as a blocker, which then gives the quarterback one-on-one opportunities with the safeties down the field when he does take off and run.
Kevin Mensah in the backfield. 2nd down, 5. This is Mensah. Lost the ball, got it back, but no fumble. Original spot is at the 44. He's 3 yards shy of a first down.
And what you see initially right there, Cortez Brunson, his ability, that first step as a defensive lineman, causes the running back to shift just enough to allow the linebackers and allow the safeties to get downhill to make the tackle.
What was it John Dunn told us about Cortez Broughton? Don't let the game wrecker wreck the game.
Well, he's been wrecking it so far.
Pindell, little dump off, and that's not going to work for the first down. Xavier Scott ran out of real estate and ran out of bounds. And that's a nice stop for Cincinnati.
And that's a great job by Michael Pitts on the outside defensive end, getting his hands up to distract the quarterback just enough. And then the ball was late. The receiver had nothing but to do to go out of bounds, short of the first down.
And UConn is forced to punt. Magliozzi, who was a plumber in Australia, now finds himself as a 24-year-old redshirt freshman kicking in the American. Nice move there by Alden Knight. And he gets to the sideline, and he gets crunched at the 20-yard line. Cincinnati with a touchdown lead and the ball when we get back. Trip facts: if you're coming to Rentschler Field, it's now called Pratt & Whitney Stadium because it's built on an airport. That's right, the historic Pratt & Whitney Airfield just outside of Hartford was originally named for the company's founder, Frederick Rentschler. 40,000, and there still is a large runway which they use for parking cars now and tailgating. Cincinnati at their own 20. Desmond Ritter has been superb. Michael Warren got all stretched out, and that's a 2-yard carry. Look at this. Everything on that list is impressive.
The time of possession is what impresses to me, and that's what happens when you have a run game and a dominant run game. You're going to eat up the clock, and that's why we call him the truck, and that's why we say Michael Warren is dominant in the 3rd and 4th quarter. Defensive lines and front sevens just get worn down with being on the field for so long.
2nd down, 7. Warren again. Good push up front. James Atkins made the stop. Mike Denbrock has been in a lot of places and done a lot of nice things as an offensive coach. Notre Dame, Washington, Stanford was his 2nd year. He's got a redshirt freshman quarterback who was impressed, and he really impressed once he got the 3rd drive in that UCLA game and hasn't looked back since.
Really taking control as a quarterback, as a leader, a young leader on his football team. I don't care if you're a freshman or a senior. When you are the guy, other players are going to look to you. And Desmond Ritter is completely taken over.
3rd down, 3. Ritter's throw in traffic is caught there for a first down. Geddes seemed to have one arm pinned and somehow was able to capture the football.
That's a great job on the outside, creating just enough space. And this is the pinpoint accuracy, which we've seen from Ritter so far this year. Be able to hit shoulders, right shoulder, left shoulder, just enough to let his receiver catch it before the DB gets in there.
Thomas Geddes out of Pompano Beach, Florida. The 33. Warren off the toss, and he's got another 12 yards. Michael Warren, the second.
The truck looking like a sports car right here with a little move. DB's scared he's going to run him over, not so fast. I got a little wiggle too. That's impressive.
He doesn't get that wiggle without that 3-minute stretching appointment on the sideline. And great coverage. And Darian Beavers hauls down Ritter with a sack there. No one open.
No one open downfield. Right here, you like to see Ritter, instead of taking a 4-yard sack, throw the ball away. Just quick outs. At a split second, hit his tight end up the sideline, but really right there, throw it out of bounds, save 3 yards.
So the loss of 3 makes it 2nd down and 13. This young UConn defense needs something to go right. Ritter, wide, expansive land, and he's down to the 20, down to the 16. My goodness. Is this the sea opened up wide for him?
And once again, Pierce Devon, defensive end, bites on the play action to the running back, the fake dive, great read by the quarterback. And this is what happens. You get sick of the running back going for 4 or 5 yards. You get lazy as a defensive end, you crash. And then Desmond Ritter has the ability with his legs to create big plays just like that one.
And this is looking like another long touchdown drive for Cincinnati. Ritter rolling. Chase to the sideline and hit there. Down he goes. Santana Sterling made the hit. Was it late?
That's why you can't relax on the football field. Desmond Ritter decides to take a quick break, thinking he's out of bounds. Make sure you finish the run. Because any opportunity a defensive player has to hit a quarterback, they're going to take advantage of it.
Tavion Thomas is in the backfield now for Cincinnati. And this is Thomas. And he's inside the 10. Omar Fort made the stop. That's going to bring up another 3rd down. And down right now is Garrett Campbell, the center for Cincinnati.
Yeah, that's someone they can't afford to lose. Garrett Campbell is the one at the center position that gets everything going, especially with very inexperienced the guard and tackle positions.
There's Campbell out of Cincinnati. It's an interesting offensive line. They've kind of patched it together. Got a transfer at the left tackle with Dino Boyd. Kyle Trout, an Ohio State transfer. You can see that's the...
You see an ankle rolled up there a little bit. That's what happens when you have a powerful running back.
We'll take a timeout. Cincinnati, a 14-7 lead. His way off the field. Cincinnati center. And the Bearcats bring in Jakari Robinson to take his place. There's a look at Robinson, a freshman out of Talladega, Alabama. It's a big play here. It's 3rd down and 3.
I say keep doing what you're doing. Spread the defense out. Create a light box of just 6, maybe 7 defenders. And let's continue with the zone read. Desmond Ritter's done a great job reading it so far and then creating with his legs if the defensive ends do crash.
Michael Warren is back in there at the tailback spot. At the UConn 10. Ritter, ball's loose! UConn's got it! And they get their stop.
Brand new center, and the snap is way off. Too hot to handle from the quarterback position. And we talked about it. Garrett Campbell is the guy at center.
Luol Ugwak falls on it. Turnover, Cincinnati. Jakari Robinson right now didn't have a chance to warm up. But coming up at the half, Brent Stover, Houston Nutt, Kevin Carter are already warm. CBS Sports Network studio in New York for a look around college football, first half stats analysis, and it's powered by Ram Trucks.
Little nerves, first play coming in as a center, and Jakari Robinson way left of the quarterback. You want to put it anywhere in the body, in his framework. Hopefully they get to the sideline. You saw it, them getting on the sideline, getting together, figuring out, get the timing, calm his nerves a little bit, because we got a lot of football left to play.
Now, UConn has the stop. Can they move the football? Pindell in the pockets. Man open. McLean again. Flag goes down. McLean right at midfield. Another flag goes down. Derek Forrest and Cam Jeffries on the cover. That's a big man and a talented tight end.
Pass interference. Defense number 4. The penalties decline. The result of the play is a first down.
Second time Pindell has found McLean on a deep ball.
You see him right there, line up at tight end. This is a 3 vertical. Speaking with Cincinnati's defensive coaches, this is what they were worried about, an athletic tight end getting down the field and making big plays like that one.
Oh my goodness, Mensa swallowed up by Kamoni Fitz. And this concern certainly, we'll get you a report as soon as we can. Garrett Campbell has his shoe off of that left foot. Let someone roll up on that foot ankle area. He is headed to the locker room.
Right now for UConn, I want to continue to see David Pindell throw the football. Been very accurate so far, and that's really when you've been seeing these dynamic plays down the field.
Empty backfield. They like to run it with the quarterback out of this, and he's going nowhere. That was a quarterback draw. Fitz again makes the play for a loss.
Right now, they have 5 guys and a half, 5.5 eyes in the backfield. They understand when UConn wants to spread you out, go 5 wide. Usually it's going to be some type of quarterback draw, quarterback gap run, and they don't want to get beat on that. They want to be able to stop David Pindell from running and winning this game.
UConn has lost 3 yards on the last 2 plays. Pindell, blitz comes, he's in trouble, dumps it off, almost intercepted. Michael Pitts was right there. And Cincinnati with a great sequence defensively.
Yeah, Xavier Scott in at running back, more of the receiving back, so this team's on high alert defensively. Be ready for screens, be ready for any kind of swing routes to Scott, and they are well prepared and well coached on that play.
Alden Knight is deep. Magliozzi to punt it. Line drive kick, gonna kick out of bounds inside the 20-yard line. 5.5 minutes left, entertaining first half. Cincinnati up a score. Our AP poll powered by Ram Trucks. Georgia, your Bulldogs, Aaron Murray, up 10-0 right now. Clemson dodged a major one and came back to beat Syracuse. That Stanford-Notre Dame game, a lot of intrigue in that tonight.
Yeah, Clemson with a scare. Lawrence, there's new starting quarterback going down early in that game. But we really got to see that Clemson defense, how dominant they have been. And then for Cincinnati, we want to talk about a dominant run game. We've seen it. It starts with the offensive line, and then Michael Warren finding these small creases and then exploding through the hole for big plays. And then Desmond Ridder, when the time comes, when the defensive ends crash, the linebackers crash, he's smart enough as a QB to pull it, and then talented enough as a runner to get great yardage.
All right, we'll see if Jakari Robinson, the freshman center, has loosened up here. Misfire on a snap, stopped that last drive deep inside UConn territory. Ian Swenson made the stop. To our New York studios for an independent craft brewery updates.
Guys, Pitt and UCF, and Mackenzie Milton is dealing 2 rushing touchdowns, 23-yard run to the end zone here. Second quarter, 21-7, 13th ranked UCF the advantage.
All right, thank you, Brent. And that's a chance for a team in the American to take a bite out of a Power 5 team in Pitt. A.J. Garson right now is the UConn Husky who is down. If you're just stopping by this one, Cincinnati is one of the under-the-radar stories in college football this year. They've won 4 games in each of the last 2 seasons, but they've started this season at 4-0, chance to go to 5-0. Garson is up. UConn, meanwhile, is in a major rebuild mode, especially on the defensive side, where they've got to be the youngest defense in college football.
No, they are. They
in
understand.
Some time.
Yeah, and they understand that there's going to be a ton of bumps in the road going forward, but they're looking at the future. They're seeing we're getting a lot of playing time, a lot of film, and it's all about the small victories, the ability to get 3 and outs, the ability to get a couple turnovers. Build on that each and every week.
Saw Billy Crocker, defensive coordinator, may have the toughest job in college football. Ritter pulls it, in trouble, and he's sacked back at the 14-yard line. Kevon Jones.
That's a great job. Once again, similar play from earlier. Quarterback decides to pull it. Kevon Jones does a great job staying upfield, not letting him get outside. And then just great coverage on the outside. No one open. The receivers are actually blocking for the tight end going into the flat. Tight end's covered. And it's a run play, so you can't throw it away as a quarterback. You just got to eat it for the sack.
3rd down 14, and flags and whistles. And probably procedure.
Before the snap, false start. Offense, number 52. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Shakari Robinson once again, backup center, needs to just calm his nerves a little bit. Maybe get hit a couple of times to feel like he's a part of this game.
3rd down 19. Empty backfield for Ritter. 4-man rush. From his goal line, hit as he throws, and incomplete. Khalil Lewis, the intended receiver. Pierce Devon put the pressure on.
And just enough pressure on the outside. Pierce Devon, because if Desmond Ritter had a split second longer, he had Khalil Lewis coming across the middle of the field. You see it right there. If he's able to deliver an accurate ball, might have had a chance to convert that for a 1st down.
That's 2 stops for Billy Crocker's defense now. One on the turnover, and here an impressive one. And now you've got James Smith, another Australian, another Aussie rules guy, punting the lefty from the end zone. End over end kick. Dangerous bounce. Kyle Buss has it. And UConn down a touchdown. 4:12 left, 1st half. Have the football at midfield. At midfield here. And next Saturday in prime time, UConn right back here on CBS Sports Network. In the American, they'll take on Memphis at 7 Eastern on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Rushing touchdowns. You and I saw Devin Singletary in week 2 at FAU. He's terrific. Darrell Henderson of Memphis now has 9, and Michael Warren has a touchdown. Today, he's at 9.
Yeah, a lot of talent at the running back position. All very similar style offenses. It runs through those guys, those talented running backs.
Kevin Mensah in the backfield here. Cincinnati put good pressure on Pindell. Last UConn possession. From midfield, Mensah bounces it outside, trying to get the edge. He does. And then it's tripped up. James Wiggins made the stop.
That's the issue right now for UConn. Their inability, the lack of size in the interior to create any room. These running backs and even the quarterback having to bounce these runs to the outside, it just gives talented linebackers and talented safeties enough time to get there and make the play.
Gain of 2. Pindell, again pressured, fires it. That might be interference again. Every time Aaron McLean is the receiver, he gets hammered. He caught the last one, but this one's incomplete. It's going to be a 1st down.
Pass interference, defense number 6. Ball be placed at the spot of the foul, automatic, 1st down.
Yeah, Pindell got lucky with this one. Looked like he was throwing it away. Ball way behind his intended tight end. But Perry Young, that's what happens when you're trying to catch up to the speedy, lengthy Aaron McLean. Eyes not in the right spot, and you just run into him. Pass interference, first down with plenty of time to go in the remainder of this half.
McLean's caught 3 balls for 78 yards already. 1st and 10 now. Pindell, blitz comes, he's hit. Ball in the air, McLean again, and just couldn't hold it. That one down at the 10. They told us, John Dunn and Randy Edsall said, David Pindell can throw a great deep ball.
Oh, the deep ball for him, the accuracy, the touch right now down the field. But for Cincinnati defensively, you need to mix it up. You can't have a linebacker on this talented tight end and Aaron McLean. Put a safety on him. Maybe you might have to put a nickel cornerback on him, someone who can run with him, because this is more of a receiving tight end instead of a blocking one.
Tyler Davis in at the tight end spot here. The ground game is non-existent right now for UConn. And that's, talk about this front four. Kimoni Fitz makes the play. We've talked about Marquise Copeland, Cortez Broughton, and Michael Pitts. All 4 of these guys.
It's a dominant front 4 and front 7 in general. And that's why for UConn going forward the rest of this half and then into the second half, I think you have to continue to spread out this defense and let Pindell dice him up, let him go. He's showing that he can throw the football accurately, intermediate passes, and then deep downfield as well.
They're down 12. Pindell, another deep ball. This one for Beals, and it's incomplete. Flag down. Derek Forrest on the coverage. Tyreek Beals, the senior, the intended receiver.
Pass interference, defense number 24. 15-yard penalty automatic, first down.
That's Noah Hamlin.
You see it right there. He's holding his jersey. Noah Hamlin doesn't need to. He has safety help over the top. And when you're talking with Cincinnati defensive coaches, it's the selfish penalties, just like that unnecessary roughness on quarterbacks. Last week we saw it, and then grabbing a jersey of a receiver when you have help over top.
Pindell, a little short toss there, caught by Xavier Scott. Scott was a wide receiver, now a running back, and an obvious threat to catch it out of the backfield, gain of 8.
And for Scott going forward, yes, we know he can catch the ball in the backfield. The coaches want to see, is he more comfortable week in and week out continuing to run the ball down the field? That way defenses don't automatically say, hey, Scott's in the game, it's going to be a pass now.
Well, he's out of the game, and Mentz is in. We'll see if it's a run now. On 2nd and 2, it just might be. Blitz again for McLean. Big man has it, but he's out of the end zone. Aaron McLean. It's another nice throw, and McLean wrestled it away. Brings up 3rd and 2.
It's the touch on these balls. His understanding that my receivers, my tight ends.
Oh, that right foot.
Yeah, he's bobbling it, though. I don't think he has complete possession of the football. He'll take another closer look, but it looks like he's moving. The ball's moving a little bit too much. We'll get a good view from this angle.
Wow, I don't know. Now, UConn has taken a timeout to collect themselves. That will give the officials in the booth a chance to look at what we've just seen. The call on the field is an incomplete pass, and it is under review. Now, look, they have to have clear evidence to overturn this.
The foot's definitely in. That previous angle showed the ball maneuver around between his legs a little bit. It's close, though. That's a great job by Aaron McLean, high-ponying the football and then ripping it away from the defender. Foot's in right there. And I want to see if the ball moves. The ball still looks to be moving as he's laying on the ground as he tried to fumble to get control of it. Foot's down at that point right there. And we don't know for right there if the ball's moving or not.
And the key word there is don't know. And if we don't know and the officials don't know, they can't overturn.
I just want to talk about Pindell for a second. I mean, his ability to throw these 50-50 balls It's impressive. It is very impressive so far what I've seen from this quarterback in this first half. This is a tough one. I mean, they're taking plenty of time to look at it. Clearly foot's in. It's a matter of did he have complete possession through the roll.
After review, ruling on the field of an incomplete pass is confirmed. It'll be third down.
And that means enough evidence to confirm that the ball was not secured.
And just a split second of movement when he was laying on the ground. He fumbled it between his legs. You see him then grasp it with both hands.
Right.
But still a great play, though. That's a phenomenal play by both of those guys.
And after the review, remember, it's 3rd down and 2. A big play here. Just over 2 minutes left, first half. Xavier Scott is in the backfield. Cincinnati shows blitz. And here they come. Pindell backpedaling, fires it, caught, but short of the first down. It's going to be a gain of maybe a yard. That was Hergy Mayala who made the catch.
I'd go for it right here. You have the ability to run the football, get Mensa, your bigger downhill back, and do some kind of zone read. If the defense wants to crash, let Pindell use his legs to get the first down.
I don't know if Mensa is hurt or not, but it looks like Xavier Scott is in there right now. Quick to the line of scrimmage. Pindell going to keep it, needs a push, needs some help, gets it, and has the first down. Boy, he needed a little help from his friends, and it finally arrived.
That's tremendous. Second effort by Pindell. Continue to turn his legs and barely squeaks by for the first down.
Now the spot, the officials are going to call for the chains. It looks like a first down. Randy Edsall is pretty confident about this. The stick on the far sideline was shy. UConn's already lined up to run a play here. Maybe they're having a chain issue and they can't move the chains. You can see
looks like they're going to measure it. It's a first down.
It sure looks like it, unless the chain wasn't set properly on the far sideline. Yeah, that's it. It's clearly a first down. So there's a minute and a half left in this first half. UConn has 2 timeouts. This would mean the world to this young team to get in the end zone before the half.
Now you make this a 14-14 game heading into halftime at home, feeling great defensively after a couple stops.
Pindell, lots of time. Man open, and he overthrows Tyler Davis. He'd love to have that one back.
The first real inaccurate throw we've seen from Pindell. Plenty of time in the pocket. Was able to get through his read. You see him go from right to left. Great job offensively at the offensive line, and then just overshoots his tight end on the outside. He might have been surprised he was that wide open.
Remember what Marcus Freeman, the defensive coordinator for Cincinnati, told us last night. We want to make UConn beat us by having the quarterback throw it, not run it. And they have shut down the running game.
Thank you.
2nd and 10. Pindell looking, dumps it, incomplete. Good coverage there. Kobe Bryant, the corner, was on the coverage there.
Great coverage down the field. No one open. Smart move, throwing it away. Still have an opportunity at 3rd and 10 to get a first down. If not, kick a field goal. And still, we talk about it. That's encouraging for a young football team. They'd be going against Cincinnati 4-0. If you can make this game 14-10 heading into halftime, those are those small victories we talked about at the beginning of this game.
Xavier Scott in the backfield. He's a good receiver out of the backfield. On 3rd and 10, another blitz. Pindell, lots of time, flushed, firing, sideline, incomplete. Too much on it for Tyreek Beals. Good coverage.
Yeah, got to kick a field goal at this point. 4th and 10. Unlikely you'll get the first down. Take the 3. and then hope your defense, with only a minute to go after this kick, should have the ability to stop the Cincinnati offense.
This is Michael Tarbut who's in, the junior. 37 yards. Snap is clean. Kick is not. Just pushed it wide right. And a minute left for Cincinnati. They've got 2 timeouts.
Great snap, great hold. And like you said, Rich, just pushed it right. Ooh, that's close. That's a close call.
And the way to call that, the official right under the upright is looking straight up at it.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That's a great drive, great previous possession defensively to get this UConn offense, great field position. Should have taken advantage for the 3 points. Now let's see if their defense can once again step up and continue to keep this a 14-7 game heading into halftime.
Some big plays made by this young defense. Ritter back to the sideline, caught there by Thomas Geddes. He's out of bounds for a first down at the 33-yard line. Under a minute left. Cincinnati a couple timeouts.
And if I'm Cincinnati right now, I'm going to continue to put some pressure on the cornerbacks on the outside. They're giving a lot of cushion, and their quarterback's shown he has the arm strength to make those kind of passes.
Ritter on the money again, caught there. DeGuara, that's a first down. That stops the clock, 12 yards. And this redshirt freshman quarterback's been really impressive here today. Now, that's Cole Smith, big leg. Another 9 yards there, Thomas Geddes. You can hear Cincinnati screaming for a timeout. 40 seconds left. Now, career long, just 24 yards. They like the leg, they're just not sure with a freshman kicker. Cincinnati was ready to bust this wide open when their center, Garrett Campbell, the senior, went down. The freshman, Jakari Robinson, came in his first play. And a false start as well. Lower leg injury, he's questionable. That coming from Cincinnati. Robinson seems to have calmed down, certainly. And second down and 2. 1 timeout left. 40 seconds left, first half. Ritter again, sideline shot, wide open, caught there by DeGuara, and he stays in bounds.
And that's a beautifully designed play. You have 4 verticals, the inside tight end, the receiver switch responsibilities. The safety takes the inside, and that leaves that cover 2 zone about 17 to 22 yards on the sideline, wide open. And Ritter delivers an absolute dime, placing it right between the corner and safety. That's a beautiful ball right there.
Desmond Ritter is 15 of 19 for 180 yards. First and 10. Ritter flushed, fires it out of bounds, and stop the clock with 28 seconds.
And now you feel good having to kick a field goal. You're not worried about a 40, 50-yard field goal. Great throws, like you said, Rich. Ritter's playing phenomenal right now this first half. Knowing when to throw it out of bounds, and then his accuracy down the football field. These are tough throws he's making look easy.
So now 15 of 20. 28 seconds left and a timeout left for the Bearcats. Four-man rush. Ritter with time. Lofts it. End zone. Caught. But is he in or out? He's in. Touchdown. Rashad Medeiros. Long look by the official. And certainly one that we will review.
Yeah, we're going to have to see. Does the left foot get down? The right foot's out of bounds. Looks like he just got the left foot in.
Did the left foot hit before the right foot
That's
did?
going to be key right here. Left foot is down, and then the right. Looks to be a good call. This is going to be a great angle right here. Caught, left, right. I say it's a touchdown.
And ball secured.
He has it right there. That's a beautiful pass and great awareness by the receiver to get his foot down.
It's great work in the truck as well. 79 yards on 6 plays. And of course, a missed field goal by UConn. They came up empty on their drive, and Cincinnati has made them pay.
That's a great job, just an inside corner route. Outside receiver is going to hold down the corner. But the eyes, Desmond Ritter, his eyes to get the corner to bite down to create enough space over top. And then Rashad Mendez, what a great catch, getting the left foot in. And Darius on the outside, tremendous, tremendous job. But it starts with Desmond Ritter, his eye manipulation on the cornerback on the outside to get him to suck up. And then an absolute pearl on the outside on a corner throw.
Darius, the transfer from Illinois, Indiana native, had a big week last week. 6 catches, 70 yards in the comeback win over Ohio. And Ritter now 3rd straight game with a rush and a pass touchdown. They knew they had someone special last year, and as a redshirt, he wasn't playing. They made sure he got plenty of responsibilities and game planning and getting him up to speed with the offense.
And they traveled him to the away game so he can get a feel of an away environment, the noise, the communication difficulties, so that when he was the starter, he'd feel a little bit more comfortable.
Tyler Coyle from the 8s. And a rude greeting at the 20.
If I'm UConn right now, the last thing you want to do is make any kind of mistake. With 20 seconds to go, I say take a knee, move into halftime. It's only 21-7 at this point. Let's regroup. Young defense. I think they've had some positive plays, positive possessions, and it looks like they're going to take a knee.
Pindell to a knee. There were some moments for UConn in this first half, but a glimpse as to why Cincinnati is a half away from a 5-0 start after winning just 4 games in each of their last 2 years. Randy Edsall heads to the locker room. Luke Fickell will take the Bearcats in as well, and it's 21-7 at the half. After the break, we'll send you back to our CBS Sports Network studio in New York. Halftime report powered by Ram Trucks. Brent Stover, Houston Nutt, Kevin Carter are standing by. Oh boy. In Hartford's and UConn and Cincinnati, 21-7. Cincinnati on top. Late score to finish off that first half for the Bearcats. Impressive stuff from them. They're a half away from going 5-0.
Yeah, they look great offensively and defensively. But UConn, we've seen some sparks from their quarterback, from their defense at times. This is going to be an interesting second half.
All right, let's take a look at the right play, brought to you by Rocket Mortgage, Quicken Loan.
David Pindell, his ability to be accurate down the football field, especially to Aaron McLean. These have been the big plays, taking shots to your tall, lanky receiver, and then flipping it over for Cincinnati. If UConn wants to load the box with 7 guys to stop the dive, Desmond Ritter has shown the ability to run the football when need be.
Numbers, look at the total yardage on the left column for Cincinnati right now.
And then for Cincinnati, 3rd down conversion staying on the field, and that's because on 1st and 2nd down, they've been able to get to 3rd down and 2, 3rd down and 1. UConn, 1 of 6, they need to clean that up this second half to be able to keep their defense off the field.
Well, for UConn, what could have been, remember they were driving at the end of the first half. It stalled. They missed a field goal. Cincinnati turned that into 7 points. And that kickoff goes through the end zone and will come back out to the 25-yard line. The numbers of Desmond Ritter and David Pindell.
I thought both have looked extremely accurate. Short throws, deep throws, when to run, when not to run. It's been fun watching. You look at these guys before this game, you think, okay, we're going to see a lot of running with them, with the running backs, but really their ability to stretch the field with their arm has been a difference.
Be interesting to see what adjustments Randy Edsall, John Dunn, the offensive coordinator, make. Cincinnati, Luke Fickell, Mike Denbrock as well. Cincinnati gets the first touch here in the second half. Redshirt freshman quarterback Michael Warren busts loose, and Warren's across the 40. Warren's across midfield, cuts back at the 40, inside UConn territory to the 38-yard line.
It's a great first job by the offensive line, linking up, getting the protection, and then getting to the second level, get to the linebackers. And this is what I want to see. The third quarter and the fourth quarter. Can this UConn defense muster up enough energy to start making more plays against the run?
Charles McClellan hops in. You can see Warren is a few yards shy of 100, wide open, and caught there. DeGuara with the catch and the touchdown. 2 plays, 75 yards, and Cincinnati has added a score.
And they want to load the box to stop the run game. Well, there's no safety deep, and that's a heck of a one-handed catch right there, reeling it in. But really, it's the play-action fake by Ritter with his running back that created those separation for his tight end to be wide open down the field.
Josiah DeGuara, the junior, having a big, big game here today. What a turnaround it was off the missed field goal by UConn. Could have made it 14-10. Now it's 28-7.
And now we're seeing this offense roll in the run game and then utilizing the play-action pass. Another beautiful pass by Ritter down the field for the touchdown.
The only college football on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Red Lobster. By Verizon. Now go mix and match family unlimited plans. And by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing.
Few realize that Cincinnati football is one of the oldest programs in the country. 131st season. First one was in 1885. And this season, look at that. Josiah DeGuara with 5 catches, and he's well over 100 yards. 112 yards. And the Bearcats are looking at a 5-0 start after 2 down years, 2 seasons in which they won just 4 games each season.
I want to focus on Omar Fort, the safety. You get a big play running the ball. The previous play, all of a sudden, the play-action pass. Safeties, linebackers bite up. Josiah DeGuara over top, accurate pass, but starts with the running game. When you're able to run the football, these guys, these linebackers, these safeties, they start to get antsy to try to make a play, utilize the play action. Beautiful play call and better execution by those players.
Now David Pindell and UConn go to work on this really good front 4 for Cincinnati. Mensah, a gain of maybe a yard. UConn's running game has been non-existent, and that's why you see a lot of red on the screen.
It's been tough going, but we knew against a very talented team, you're going to have trouble running the football. I think the one big key we take away from that first half is David Pindell and his accuracy down the football field. I'm going to look forward to see if they put the car keys in his hand and say, let's take you. You can take us back. It starts with your arm.
Second down 9. Xavier Scott in motion. On an empty set, Pindell on the money there. Mayala with a catch. And Hergy Mayala is out to the 33-yard line. UConn shy of the first down, third down, and about 4. Mayala, born in the Congo, moved to the U.S., actually moved to Montreal when he was 7. This is a kid in Montreal that UConn was able to get to Stores.
And it's a big third down for this offense. They need to figure out a way to stay on the field.
Pindell's throw, that one is over the head of Aaron McLean. And to throw it over the head of Aaron McLean, it's got to be high. He's 6'5". And that's a
6'5", long arms, has the ability to jump. One of the few inaccurate passes we've seen so far today from David Pindell. And this is tough now. Now you put your defense back on the field. after a tough go to start the half, that previous possession.
No question about that. As we've established, this is one of the youngest defenses, if not the youngest defense in all of college football. They're going to be right back out there. Magliozzi with a punt, fair catch made at the 28-yard line. Remember, in the first half, Jakari Robinson, the freshman, had to come in for Garrett Campbell. Campbell is out for the rest of the game, lower leg injury. Robinson had a bad snap his first time out, also jumped off sides, but since then the freshman center has settled down and played well.
Yeah, he's settled down a little bit. He's more accurate with his snaps because this is not a team that's going to get under center. So accuracy with the center is key for timing with the run game and also timing in the pass game for the quarterback.
Little screen out to Deshaun Jackson. Jackson to the 31. It's a gain of 2.
And we're going to see, I'm interested to see Deshaun Jackson. Coaches were raving about somehow he's just around the football. The ball finds his hands. He makes the big play down the field. Been a little quiet so far in the first half. We'll see if he has an explosive play, which we've seen those first 4 games of the season.
Second down, 8. Khalil Lewis on a quick pop. He's got a first down, knocked out of bounds right at midfield. Omar Fort with the hit.
And UConn got away with one right here. We're going to see Lewis clearly out of bounds. It's a close call right there. But once again, the cornerback is playing about 10 yards off. And they're seeing it. They're seeing they're just going to keep calling these hitches. At some point, they're going to have to press the receivers. I don't care how talented they are.
First and 10. Tavion Thomas bounces outside. Thomas churning. And he's got another 12 yards. The Cincinnati offense came to life in the Rose Bowl. That's the first game at UCLA. Certainly came to life in the second half last week when they were down to Ohio at one point 21-0.
And that's good to see a team that's not used to winning. They're used to previous 2 seasons before that, only 4 wins in 16 and 17. The ability to get into that locker room, regroup, and come out and win that second half.
Thomas again. This time, not a lot of room there. The ball seemingly pops loose. A.J. Garson's got it, but I think
Ruling on the field is that the runner's forward progress was stopped before the ball came loose. Be second down.
Could not have said it any better than that.
Yeah, that's still a bad move, though. It's only a 2-yard gain. You're not trying to get a first down at that point. Way too much air between the ball and the body. As a runner, you're taught 4 points of contact, palm of your hand, forearm, bicep, and then the ball against your chest. Right there, he's missing about 2 points of contact.
Second down, 9. Play action, Ritter's throw. Deep one, caught and then dropped. Khalil Lewis just broke open when the ball arrived.
Oh, that's great anticipation on the double move from Desmond Ridder. Throws it well before his receiver gets open. And that's the second time we've seen Khalil Lewis miss 2 touchdowns now. Earlier on a post route, went right through his hands for a touchdown, and it went right there with a little slant and go on the outside. Just needs better concentration to reel those in.
They're down 9. Warren in the backfield. Desmond Ridder, 18 of 24, 216 yards. Quarterback draw. Ridder is going to be short of the first down, but field goal range you would think for Cole Smith.
I would go for it here. Your offense is rolling. They've been able to get these 3rd and shorts, 4th and shorts all day long, and it looks like they're going to attempt it right here.
UConn scrambling to get their defense on and off the field, and once again, they have to take a timeout. And because Cincinnati didn't bring any new personnel in, the officials did not stop the snap and allow UConn to change personnel.
Yeah, that's a smart move for them offensively. Let's get up, let's get lined up, and almost got a free 5 yards if they're able to get that snap. Lucky for UConn, calling the timeout. Smart play by their coach. But now you give Cincinnati the time to regroup, figure it out, get the play they want, and see if they can execute it for a first down.
Billy Crocker and his defense, Luke Fickell and the Bearcats with a 4th down and 3 against this ultra-young, inexperienced UConn D. Ritter has Warren behind him.
We got a lot of one-on-one matchups on the outside. UConn's low in the box. Look for Cincinnati to throw the ball in this situation.
Ritter will throw it. Blitz comes, dumps it out, caught by Warren. He's 20. Nice move, gets out of bounds. Everything works right now for this Bearcat offense.
And that's a great job. We saw this play earlier. You're going to bring a full-on blitz defensively. As a quarterback, you're taught, let's just retreat. Gain time, let your running back sneak out. They caught it for a first down earlier. Same play, 2 receivers to the left. They come in the block. You sneak the running back out. And as a quarterback, like I said, you just need to buy enough time and almost throw an alley-oop to your running back in the flat.
Warren is going to walk into the end zone, and Cincinnati puts another touchdown on the board.
This defense, a bad job not staying in your gaps. And then great job on the outside blocking. Tight ends, receivers. We give so much love to the offensive line. Yes, they've been playing great, but the receivers and tight ends on the outside are doing a tremendous job taking care of that 2nd and 3rd level, and that's when you see the big runs.
Another touchdown run for Warren. Another 6 points for Cincinnati. And the Bearcats are rolling.
Yeah, it starts with Desmond Ryder, his ability to throw the football, but Michael Warren in the middle and then getting to the outside, using his speed to get another touchdown.
Wake Forest just fired their defensive coordinator. Just curious your philosophy on that.
What does that have to do with us?
Well,
I'm done. I can see where this is going. I'm done.
That was a press conference this week. The question was, and the inference was, Wake Forest just fired a defensive coordinator. And look, we've talked about it all day. Billy Crocker is the defensive coordinator here. He has the hardest job in college football right now. He has the youngest defense in college football. Look what he has to deal with. Well, look, that's, I know Gino Auriemma plays good defense, but look, Gino Auriemma doesn't have to play true freshmen. Gino Auriemma doesn't have to play.
You're teaching these kids, you're teaching them basics right now. You're teaching this defense the basics, and when you play great football teams offensively, it's just not going to work.
7 freshmen start. The rest are sophomores. 8 more true freshmen come in with the 2 deeps. That's 13 true freshmen that you're playing in the 22, the 2 deeps, defensively.
I mean, you're teaching infants how to walk at this point. You're not, these aren't teenagers you're giving the keys to the car saying, hey, good luck, have fun. I mean, this is baby steps. It's going to be little improvements week in and week out for this defense. It's going to be tough. It could be ugly at times, but they should be better by next season, hopefully.
As Randy Edsall told us this week, you can't turn the battleship around right away. It takes a while to get that thing turned around.
Well, and that's the issue nowadays. People want instant
Personal foul.
wins.
Release your hands to the face. Defense, number 95. 15-yard penalty added to the end of the run. Automatic first down. With 56 minutes remaining in the game because his helmet came off as a result of the foul.
Some things take time. First time here at UConn 15, 16 years ago.
99,
it took them a few years to get this thing rolling. It could be the same thing here now. But I tell you what, these freshmen that are playing, they're going to get 12 games under their belt this season. Go back, make those improvements in spring ball and fall camp, and they should be a better football team.
Pindell, look out, hit. Gets rid of it. There was a receiver out there, and it's incomplete. Aaron McLean was the receiver.
Great job defensively, staying home, not biting on the play action. The issue is you flip it. Cincinnati's offense, they're able to run the football, then utilize the play action after that. UConn not able to run the ball, so no one's biting on these play action fakes. They're staying home at the linebacker position. They're staying home at the safety position and not giving Pindell any opportunity to get outside.
Second down and 10. Big blitz coming up the middle. Nice job on the offensive line. And Pindell fires that one out of bounds. You look around the landscape of college football, you'll see a few true freshmen in some starting lineups. You won't see an entire defense that's a majority of true freshmen, and that's what he's got.
Well, the issue, too, is there's no real senior leadership. There's no one to bring these guys in. It's all through the coaches. You need seniors to guide, to mentor, and they really have a lack of those seniors and even juniors on this roster as well.
Another blitz. Pindell sets his feet, fires it deep, Beals, and he was there. The ball arrived. It may have been tipped by Tyrell Gilbert on the coverage. Flag down back at the 35-yard line.
After the play, personal foul, use your hands to the face, number 6 of the defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
That's Perry Young. Ryan Crozier, the center, 63. Keep an eye on him.
And once again, these are the silly fouls we talk about from Cincinnati. We saw it last week. We saw it the first games before that as well. Yes, I know you're winning right now, but going forward, when you play closer games, these 15-yard penalties, these 10-yard penalties are going to come back to bite you in the butt.
150 yards in penalties last week, and they won that game against Ohio. Mensah, a rare carry for him. He's inside the 40, a gain of 2. Cincinnati with about 70 yards in penalties in this one. UConn on the move. Cincinnati up big. 8.5 left in the third quarter. Another blitz. Pindell looking for his big tight end. McLean is triple covered there on the sideline.
The one issue, too, with this UConn offense, really don't have any receivers with speed to really take the top off a defense. So right now the safeties are playing low, corners are playing low, and then the main focus right now is let's stop Aaron McLean. So you're seeing a linebacker, you're seeing a safety over top, and then they're leaving their cornerbacks one-on-one with those receivers because they know they can win those matchups.
Third down 9. Let's see if they blitz again. Not this time. Pindell tucks it, slides, and is hit at the 38-yard line. It's going to bring 4th down and 8.
And I think you have to go for this at this point. Down 35-7. You need some sort of spark in this game, in this second half. And if you're able to get this 4th down and continue this drive, 1, you keep your defense off the field, and 2, you start to build these small victories in the second half.
Xavier Scott is the tailback on 4th down and 7.
We got Aaron McLean in the slot to your left. We'll see if we can isolate him one-on-one.
Pindell off his back foot for the sidelines, and it's broken up and incomplete. Cam Jeffries on the coverage, and Cincinnati takes over. All Bearcats, they are looking at a 5-0 start.
Oh boy.
Don't blink. Ah, you blinked. Top 25 scoreboard in a blink of an eye, brought to you by Red Lobster. Aaron Murray, what do you see?
Obviously that Clemson win, defense really stepped up in that second half with their quarterback injured, and then Georgia Gotta love my Bulldogs right now, up 24-6. But the big surprise, Northwestern at 1-2, up 17-7.
Some of the teams on the landscape of college football, your best team is Alabama. Surprise is Kentucky.
Yeah, Kentucky right now, big test. Are they going to be the #2 team in the East? We'll find out tonight if they beat South Carolina. West Virginia continue to roll with Will Greer. And then Michigan State, my disappointing team. They just have not looked great. Tough game against Utah State. They lost to Arizona State, and then they barely beat Central Michigan 31-20. So just has not been a very dominant team, which we were expecting with a lot of starters back from last season.
Cincinnati has made a change at quarterback. Now, at the start of the season, Luke Fickell told Desmond Ridder and Hayden Moore, hey, you're both going to play. Ridder had that great game at UCLA and hasn't looked back since. But Moore is a guy, he told us yesterday, at some point this year, Hayden Moore is going to have to help win us a football game.
We saw it today. We talked about that Clemson football game earlier. Trevor Lawrence goes down early in the game, looks like to be a concussion. The backup had to come in and win it for him.
And Moore falls on the loose ball. It's a guy that has a lot of experience. He's a senior.
But hasn't gotten into these game situations in a little bit. There's a significant amount of playing time. So he has to knock the rust off. You saw right there with the mishandling of the read option.
Competition in the spring, competition in the fall, and was a dead heat. Many felt at the end of the fall. And the thing that Luke Fickell told us last night that stood out is that both Ridder and Moore are very supportive of each other, get along quite well. It's a really good quarterback room right now in Cincinnati, and this guy can throw as well. Moore right on the money. Ja'Shawn Jackson makes the catch. I mean, Moore right now is 8 of 10 on the season.
That's a great throw. Once again, offensive line doing a tremendous job. Plenty of time in the pocket. And he had some oomph behind that one, throwing an absolute laser to Jackson in the slot.
This is McClellan's. And Charles McClellan to the 44-yard line before he's escorted backwards. So Desmond Ridder, redshirt freshman, 20 of 26, 270. And that run that he had early in that first half kind of opened up the offense.
And really for me, what I was looking for from Ridder tonight was, can he get rid of and clean up the silly mistakes, the throws. He had one early, almost threw an interception, but other than that, very accurate, knew where he was going with the football, and had a tremendous game.
Tavion Thomas. And I like it, and it's significant to me that as we saw him on the sideline, Ridder's got the headset on, he's signaling in place. He takes Hayden Moore's place. It's not like, hey, I had a great game, I'm gonna go get something to drink and sit on the bench.
Put the hat on, maybe get a hot dog.
No, man, he's got the headsets on.
Well, like you said, Rich, these two are very supportive of one another. Great relationship. They're still going to dinners on Thursday night, little QB dinner. So they're happy when each one is playing well.
Thomas. And Tavion Thomas to the 24-yard line.
And plus, it's a good feeling for Ridder. You came in, had a great game. Now you get to relax. Let your backup go out there, a very deserving backup, go out there and play some.
Got a UConn defender down. (35-7) Cincinnati on top.
Golden Corral's Beef Lovers Banquet with our all-new bacon-wrapped sirloin filet, smoked beef brisket, portobello top sirloin, and golden delicious shrimp. The Beef Lovers Banquet. Golden Corral, your choice. Rules.
Why bother mastering something? Because when you want to create an entirely new feeling, the difference between excellence and mastery is all the difference in the world. Introducing the all-new Lexus ES, a product of mastery. Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Today's Best Western rewards you in a flash. Get a free night fast with points that never expire at over 4,200 hotels worldwide. And get double rewards points on every stay. Book now at bestwestern.com.
Nutro, Non-GMO ingredients, no artificial flavors. All the energy dogs need and nothing they don't. Nutro, feed clean.
CBS's Super Bowl season continues. Great doubleheader. The undefeated Dolphins. Did I say that right? Yeah, undefeated Dolphins head to New England. And Drew Brees coming off that exciting overtime win. New Orleans into New York to take on Eli Manning and the Giants. Kicks off the NFL Today, presented by Jeep at 12 Eastern. Little NFL trivia for you. Last Bearcat defensive end drafted in the second round or higher. Connor Barwin, 46 overall by the Houston Texans, and he is currently a member of the Giants.
How about the Miami Dolphins? Like you said, 3-0. The New England Patriots 1-2. First time Tom Brady can go 3 losses in a row in a long, long time.
McClellan's captured there by Travis Jones, but not after he gets a first down. Think about Cincinnati. They've been down. I mean, last year in the Tommy Tuberville era, they were 4-8. Last year, Luke Fickell's first year, they were 4-8. And then all of a sudden here, they really opened eyes by going to the Rose Bowl and then whipping UCLA. They beat Miami of Ohio on the road, survived Ohio at home. They've taken care of business here against UConn so far.
I think you said the first game, going to UCLA on the road in the Rose Bowl. I know this is not a very good UCLA football team this year, but still, you went on the road, hostile environment. I'm sure everyone was googly-eyed being in the Rose Bowl. You got a victory, got going, but it's that winning culture, winning mentality that Luke Fickell has brought over from Ohio State.
Second down and 7. And the throw there by Moore. Leonard Taylor with the catch. Of course, Cincinnati somewhat in the shadows of Ohio State. They will open their new basketball arena this year. And guess who's opening it with them? Ohio State. It's like the first time in 90-some years that Ohio State has played on the Cincinnati campus in basketball, and that new basketball arena opens in November. They're down 3. Cincinnati on the move. Tavian Thomas, the freshman out of Dayton. James Atkins makes the stop. He is short of the first down. 4th down and 1.
I think you got to give the kicker some love here. Let him go out there. He hasn't had a lot of opportunities. You may need him later on the season. Let him build some confidence. I know you can get it. I know you're bigger, you're stronger up front, big running backs. But at some point, you're going to need that leg to win you a ball game.
So on 4th down and a yard. Thomas in the backfield. Hayden Moore at the controls. And Thomas got the first down. Got Moore. Got to the 2. Actually rolls over inside the 1. Tyler Coyle. The stop for UConn.
It's a great run by Thomas. 235 pounds. Big physical running back. You see the legs continue to turn. But really, the offensive line wasn't touched until he got to the second level. That's an easy first down.
Another impressive drive. 12th play. Thomas busts his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Cincinnati.
Another physical run. Eddie Hahn had the one-on-one opportunity. 230 pounds, full head of steam in front of you. Tough to take down. Just bulldozed his way in there for the touchdown.
Dozen plays, 62 yards, 6 minutes of clock. Just a dominant performance by Cincinnati today. In every phase of the game, flags are down. Emotions and drum beats both bubbling up.
Result of the play is the try is good. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 11 of the kicking team. That 15-yard penalty will be assessed on the kickoff. That's number 11's first unsportsmanlike foul of the game.
The result of these first 3 quarters, all Bearcats.
For those who thirst for more, Coors Light is colder, cleaner, and crisper. Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
Endless Shrimp is on at Red Lobster with all the shrimp you want, any way you want them. Try new crunchy Fiesta Shrimp, tortilla chip crusted and topped with a creamy blend of 3 cheeses. Favorites like garlic shrimp scampi are back too. So hurry in before Endless Shrimp ends.
Downtown Hartford, where Cincinnati has arrived. They're taking care of business so far. Bearcats opening some eyes in the American. Randy Edsall and UConn and that ultra young defense overwhelmed right now. Tyler Coyle, after the penalty, will get to return this. The 10, Coyle getting outside, and he escapes at the 32-yard line. Michael Warren, the second.
Yeah, he's been impressive, not only running the football, but you see here, out of the backfield, catching it. But he's just a big physical back, especially the 3rd and shorts, the goal line situations. And then if you want to try to stop the dive, he's demonstrated all day, all night long, his ability to bounce it, get to the outside, and that 8.2-yard average. That's a tough for defenses. The goal for this UConn defense was to get it below 4 yards, maybe around 3. 8.2, that's not a good day for the defense.
It's a good day's work, though, for Warren, both running the ball and as a receiver. Now UConn trying to get some rhythm and some semblance of offense going. Kevin Mensah, the sophomore tailback. It will be interesting to see where this UConn team is in a couple of weeks. Their schedule has not been kind to them. Under a minute left here in the 3rd quarter. I mean, they opened with UCF, really good. They were top, obviously in the top 25. Boise State on the road, that's not an easy place to play. A win over Rhode Island, and then you go on the road to a much improved and very good Syracuse team who nearly took down Clemson today.
And then Cincinnati, as we know, is 4-0. Looking at their schedule, 5th hardest schedule in all of college football. Every team they played was undefeated at the time they played them. Really front-loaded schedule, which is tough for a young football team.
And next week they get to go on the road and take on Memphis, who is not undefeated. Memphis, in a surprise to some, lost to Tulane last night. Then they go on the road to face USF. The schedule gets a little bit easier once they get into...
That's the end of the 3rd quarter.
November. 42-7. Big day for Cincinnati. You're watching college football on CBS Sports Network, presented by Home Depot.
The demands.
Chick-fil-A game summary after 3. Rich Waltz, Aaron Murray. What's drawing your interest there?
There's a lot of positive on the left and a lot to work on the right. Obviously, 3rd down conversion, 1 of 8's not great, but then the yards per play, 7.8 to 3.9. It's just been a very dominant performance from the very first kickoff for this Cincinnati Bearcat team.
UConn with the football, 3rd down and 9. David Pindell, back shoulder throw. Great catch, but out of bounds was Heron Marisseau. And it's incomplete.
Great catch, just got to find a way to get that foot dragged down. But Marisseau, he has the ability. We talked about UConn searching for a receiver to take the top off of defense, to really stretch the field vertically. He has that ability. Still young, still learning the offense. But once he gets going, it's tough to cover him down the football field.
Marisol, another true freshman. And the Aussie punter, Luke Magliozzi, good boot there to the 18-yard line. Cincinnati gets the football back in command in the fourth.
Susan wanted to turn the
Fourth quarter coming up into the Mountain West. This is a great matchup. Boise State in Laramie taking on Wyoming. It's on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. You like quarterbacks? How about Brett Rippon, who gets another crack at the Cowboys in Laramie?
Yeah, I like Brett Rippon, especially we had a chance to cover Wyoming early in the season. Very young at the cornerback position. Very good front seven, safeties, but he should be able to pick apart those corners.
Cincinnati to work. Hayden Moore running the offense, and Moore with the carry out to the 28-yard line. The last time Rippon was in Laramie, it was a huge game. A night game, a lot on the line. And Josh Allen, everybody knows Josh Allen by now, don't they? Josh Allen had somewhat of a coming out party. And in the last seconds, Wyoming beat Boise State on a safety. Taylor Boose in the backfield, now in motion. Second down and 3. Moore to the right side and to the 33-yard line.
Well, it's nice to know that even if Moore does get in the game, the offense and game plan does not change too much. Yes, he's not the most fleet of foot, he's not the fastest, but he does have enough to scare defenses to earn that respect that he can take off. We've seen that with the past 2 plays.
Well, if you saw the first half and have missed the second half, here's what's happened so far. It's been all Cincinnati.
Yeah, it starts with the run with this team and then the play action off of it, but really been a dominant performance. Starts with Michael Warren, big bruising runs by all the running backs. Just, it's what we expected, them to be a more physical team up front at the line of scrimmage, dominate, and then wear UConn down defensively.
You can see they're up to 523 total yards. Boose gets outside and is knocked out of bounds at the 38-yard line. And I think, look, we said at the outset of the telecast, this is an under-the-radar Cincinnati team that is going to pop up on a few more radars at 5-0. Santana Sterling is down right now for UConn.
Trying to make the tackle. Whiffs. Might have just been an awkward fall. We'll see what happens. Hopefully he gets up, which he looks like he is right now.
Sterling, the senior out of Chandler, Arizona.
Talk about Cincinnati, Rich. I should have put them as my poll for underrated teams so far this season.
Under the radar team.
Under the radar team, Cincinnati. I mean, they've been playing extremely well. Obviously being 5-0 right now. But they're not going to sneak up on anyone else going forward. I mean, this team is for real. So they're going to start getting the best from everyone each and every week.
They're down at 5. Desmond Ridder was terrific. Hayden Moore running the team right now. Going to throw it on 3rd down. Oh, terrific catch there. All the way down to the 11-yard line. Malik Nadeau makes the catch.
And this is a great accurate ball. Big receiver. Let him go up and get it. And not just physical play on the outside. Tremendous job going up, high pointing the football, not letting the DB get his hand in there. Great concentration, but even a better throw.
That's a terrific catch. And Hayden Moore's in. Touchdown, Cincinnati.
Great job, Vincent McConnell, left guard, leading the charge, pulls around, gets the block along with the right side of the offensive line. And Hayden Moore just patient enough to let his offensive lineman get everything developed, and then takes it in himself.
Cincinnati, with Hayden Moore at the controls, has another touchdown. And they can add to it here.
A great drive, started with Hayden Moore and this phenomenal throw, high point, and then he takes it in himself. It's great to know you got a backup quarterback can jump in there and move this offense.
Why bother mastering
their first conference win in the conference preseason poll? Not much was expected out of either of these teams. Obviously, UCF and USF drew most of the attention in the East. Then Temple. There's Cincinnati 4th, UConn 5th. But their quarterbacks have been terrific in this one.
Yeah, Desmond Ridder doing a great job. More impressed, obviously very impressed with his legs, but throwing the football, I mean, that's an absolute pearl on the corner throw. Down the field accuracy, utilizing his play action pass. Looked like a great veteran quarterback tonight. And it always feels good to get Hayden Moore, your backup quarterback, in there, continue to run the offense effectively. It's a great tandem of quarterbacks.
And again, that's significant. There they are together. It was a competition in the spring and in the fall, a dead heat going into UCLA. Moore actually started. Ridder got the 3rd series. And things started rolling, and since then, Ridder's been the guy. Tyler Coyle makes a fair catch. Let's revisit our principal financial game plan.
I tell you what, Cincinnati's done a great job staying balanced, using the play action pass. Love what they did throwing the football down the field. UConn, better job protecting your quarterback. Couldn't really get the run game going, and then defensively had no answer for Cincinnati in running the football, whether it's a dive, quarterback option off the dive, or even those running backs getting to the outside.
Marvin Washington, a freshman. Dr. Phillips High School in Orlando. Going to get some time here. Xavier Scott busts loose. There's Scott. And that's kind of what they like about him. Not only can he catch the ball, he's a converted wide receiver. He has great bursts.
And he showed it right there. The ability, nothing's there up the middle. He's patient, feels it, and then actually gets a great block from Washington. Just brings Scott to the outside to get the first down.
Film session early next week, they may say, look, Marvin, we appreciate the effort.
Block with your left shoulder. He ducked his right there. Got to protect the throwing arm.
Washington's throw here, he was hit as he threw, and it's incomplete. It's 2nd down and 10.
A little different than his first throw last week. Last week, first throw came in. Threw a 26-yard touchdown. Going against a better defense this afternoon.
Heck, Cincinnati's defense is the best defense statistically in the American right now, and Randy Edsall knows that. He talked about how good they were. David Pindell saw it firsthand. Cincinnati did exactly what they told us they wanted to do, and that was force Pindell to beat him with his arm and not his legs.
Yeah, one of the best pass defenses in the country. We talked about in the conference. They lead a bunch of categories defensively, but 10th in the country in stopping the pass. Very impressive. And then 10th also in total defense in the country.
There are 2 fouls, 1 on each team. After the play, personal foul and unnecessary roughness, number 63 of the offense. After the play, unnecessary roughness, number 6 of the defense. Those penalties will offset. It'll be 3rd down.
Remember, those two were involved early in the 3rd quarter, and that's Ryan Crozier, the center, and Perry Young, the linebacker.
Correction, that was number 8 of the defense, 8.
Well, from the video you saw that Young was involved, but Jarrell White came to his rescue.
Yeah, came in to protect his fellow linebacker, but just some frustrated players over on that UConn football team right now.
Third down. Xavier Scott with the carry. Scott down to the 42-yard line. Now, we saw some good things from David Pindell. He didn't have a lot of help.
No, that's the key. Not a lot of help, especially at the receiving position. Aaron McLean had a great job at tight end, but Pindell, those numbers, I tell you what, those don't demonstrate what he did early in this football game. I was very impressed with his accuracy, his touch, him getting through his progressions. Like you said, Rich, there's just not a lot of help outside for him. No separation with these receivers getting open down the field.
That throw is incomplete. Flag comes down at the 35. So we talked about this tough schedule. Every team they've played so far has been unbeaten when they've played them.
Number 2, 10-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Including Cincinnati's going to go to 5-0. But Memphis next week. Now that game is on CBS Sports Network. USF, that's a tough task going down to Tampa for that. Then the schedule gets a little better
towards the end, and you would hope by the time they play UMass, Tulsa, SMU, ECU, and Temple, these freshmen would take that next step in their development, understanding the defense, playing better, so they have a chance to finish this season on a strong note and then head into the offseason and continue to develop moving forward into 2019.
Marvin Washington running the show for the Huskies. And a quick dump there. Kyle Buss makes the catch. Luke Fickell made a one-handed catch in the first half on the sideline. He's been open consistently all day long.
More catches than most of the receivers for UConn tonight.
They're going to need to get somebody in coverage over there. How many career picks do you think he had as Ohio State Buckeye? I know we have a vast research department at our fingertips, but he's got 2 picks today.
He looked smooth catching the ball too.
He was
very smooth, soft hands.
A linebacker at Ohio State.
Personal foul. Defense number 92 with a blow to the head. The penalty will be added to the end of the run, automatic first down.
And I need to step back. He was a linebacker coach, one of his first assignments at Ohio State, but he was a defensive lineman, so he may have touched the ball more today.
Even better, smoother for a defensive lineman. But these penalties, we talked about it last week, early in the season, the selfish penalties, these will cost you. When you play big games against USF, UCF, all these other big schools in this conference, you can't have these silly penalties.
Washington's throw, it's deflected and picked. What a acrobatic catch by Jarrell White, the sophomore out of Cincinnati. I think Joel DeBlanco may have got a hand on it, and White came down with the interception.
Great job by Joel DeBlanco. Reading out of it, he went down. Does a great job getting his hand up, tipping it. Reading it perfectly, get his big paw up there. And then a great diving interception from Jarrell White.
College football on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Go RVing. Find your away. Go RVing. By Principal. Investments, retirement, insurance. We can help you plan for that. And by Fanatics.com. Officially licensed everything.
The Mark Twain House and Museum here in Hartford. He wrote many of his best-known works while living in Hartford. Tom Sawyer, Prince and the Pauper, Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, and How to Read an Odd Front Defense for True Freshman Quarterbacks. That was a work that is still utilized today by offensive coordinators across this country. That one to the 5-yard line. All right, the American, notable conference wins going back to 2013. How about UCF knocking off Auburn in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. Houston taking down Florida State. The record against non-conference opponents good. UCF wiping out Pittsburgh today. That will go on a list somewhere. A lot of players drafted in 2018. UCF had 4 of those drafted.
UCF national champions in their mind. That was a big win last year versus Auburn. An Auburn team, let's not forget, that beat both Georgia and Alabama at the end of the season.
That's AJ Garland, or excuse me, AJ Garson of UConn on his way to the sideline. I'm with you. I think in about a month, this defense, the true freshmen will have 6-7 games under their belt. The schedule gets a little kinder. Hayden Moore on the carry. I think the same could be said for Cincinnati. It'd be interesting to see where they are in about 5 or 6 weeks.
Well, Rich, we talked about with UConn. They had moments in the first half. They were only down 14-7. They missed a field goal. That's huge momentum. They had an opportunity to make it a 14-14 game. They had an opportunity to make it a 14-10 game. Field goal goes just wide right. Then all of a sudden Cincinnati drives down the field, scores a touchdown to make it 21-7 heading into halftime. But they were right in it. That entire first half, they were in the ball game. You have to be encouraged just by that.
3rd down and 4. Taylor Boos busts loose. And Boos across midfield, knocked out of bounds. Tyler Coyle made the stop.
Another great job by the offensive line, but bad fits by the linebackers. These linebackers are getting sucked too far inside, leaving huge holes in between the tackles and tight ends. Those are the areas that they'll be filling.
49 or more points in the first 5 games to start a season. It's the first FBS team to do that. And again, when you're playing with 7 freshmen starting, 4 sophomores starting, 13 true freshmen.
Penalty, first down.
13 true freshmen in your 2 deeps, your 22 on defense.
The key is going forward, make sure that these players aren't discouraged. That you continue to not just point at the negatives, but point at the positives when you get into the film room. Look, you did this well, you did this well. Keep their energy, keep their spirits up. Like you said, Rich, that way by the time we get to the end of the season, they should hopefully be playing better.
Tavion Thomas with the carry. Conference news and notes. Looks like 17 straight for UCF as they're wiping out Pittsburgh. Cincinnati in year 2 under Luke Fickell. First 5-0 start since 2012. And can USF join UCF as the top teams in the state of Florida? You know something about that. You're a Tampa native.
Well, right now, Florida, obviously a big game against Mississippi State. Florida State losing to Louisville at the moment. Realistically, UCF both undefeated. I mean, those 2 teams, even last season, that was a more important game than when Florida and Florida State played each other at the end of the season.
On 2nd down, a little trip there, and down goes Moore. Okay, so Cincinnati's upcoming schedule, and we're going to give them our exit polls. We're going to project a winner here. 5-0 is Cincinnati.
The big stretch is going to be USF and UCF towards the end of the season. Right now, looking at all these games, Tulane obviously with the big win last night. But looking at their schedule, they should be competitive going forward until you hit that November 10th against USF. That's going to be tough. And then at UCF, we know how dominant that football team is currently right now. Mackenzie Millen, very good, but possibly getting up there in New York for a Heisman contention.
You know, look at that schedule. Moore carries. They have a chance to be unbeaten by the time they face those 2 Florida schools.
And they got USF at home, which is key.
And the last time Cincinnati had a start like that and had a season like that was 2009. Brian Kelly was the coach. They were 12-0 walking into the Sugar Bowl and were beaten by Florida.
They have what you want to be successful. A powerful run game, a very powerful defensive front that stuffs the run, and then a quarterback that's only going to continue to get better and better the more reps he gets, the more game experience he gets. This is going to be a dangerous Cincinnati football team. They've shown it already, but they have the making. Like I said, they have the pieces to be very competitive when they do play USF and UCF.
I think a real test, though, is going into Philadelphia to play Temple. That's never an easy.
Delay of game, offense. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
That's never an easy task. Impressed last night in our chat with the Cincinnati coaches. But those are the penalties that
that's killing them right now.
Luke Fickell talked about. He said, look, we got to clean it up. We don't want to be passive. You want to be aggressive, but you can't.
You can't be silly, though. I mean, a lot of these aren't playing aggressive. This is on yourself. The full starts, delay of games, hands to the helmet, little things. We talk about there's 2 areas that do concern me with Cincinnati. One, their kicking game hasn't been proven, and then the turnovers, or not turnovers, but the penalties.
49-7, Cincinnati trying to finish this off here. I would be on it. Don't blink. Ah, he blinked. Coming up next, we're going to Laradice, baby. Boise State and Wyoming. In the Mountain West Conference. We started our season in Laramie with Washington State, Mike Leach, and Washington State against Wyoming. That was a fun ball game. Back to the 50-yard line. And a tackle there by Curtis Brooks of Cincinnati.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, offense number 70. It's a 15-yard penalty. The down will count. 2nd down.
$49-7 here, Cincinnati taking care of business. A road win in the American. And a young, ultra young and inexperienced UConn defense wearing another one. Marvin Washington running the offense. This is Washington. And he gets just inside the 40-yard line. News and notes. Well, Kelly Bryant plans to transfer. That was all the news. It got a lot more important, didn't it?
It did. It got a little scary for Clemson beginning of the game. When Lawrence went down, all of a sudden you're going to an inexperienced backup quarterback. It's going to be interesting where Kelly Bryant goes next year. Yeah, he's going to have plenty of college coaches calling him, trying to get him to their schools. So I like Florida, maybe Auburn, something, maybe even UCLA. Something that uses the dynamic quarterback both running and throwing.
3rd down 16. Washington is running, and he's throwing. And it's incomplete. Donovan Williams, the intended receiver. Alabama stays dominant. What's up with the ACC?
I don't know what. I mean, obviously the big loss, Virginia Tech losing to Old Dominion last week. Florida State has been very down. First year with Willie Taggart has not looked like the Florida State that we were accustomed to seeing. It's really Clemson and everyone else. I mean, NC State looks good. We had NC State last week. Finley's a very dominant quarterback. They had another big win today, so maybe they'll have a chance to take down Clemson.
Magliozzi with the punt, and that rolls. He's the best plumber to kick in college football this year, the Australian punter. There he is. I mean, look, he was a plumber in Australia. He knew that there was a group that was training Aussie rules football players to punt, and he figured, I don't like being a plumber, I'm signing up. And all of a sudden, he finds himself punting. He was here last year as a redshirt. Actually, they weren't going to redshirt him, they were going to start him, but he couldn't catch the snaps because he didn't know the rules. He didn't know how to put the uniform on, and he had trouble catching the snaps to punt. but a year's work as a redshirt, all of a sudden, he is turned into a really nice weapon.
Listen, you putting the uniform on for the first time is a little tricky. I remember my first time, I'm looking at my thigh pads, my knee pads. I'm like, where did these go? And I had to call my dad, get him home from work a little early. It could be a little tricky if you've never done it before.
Jake Sopko getting some run right now with the second or maybe third unit for Cincinnati.
And it looks like he not used to. Oh, there he goes. Put the mouthpiece in. Make sure you protect the teeth.
Boos in the backfields. And he's out to the 23-yard line. Sopko out of Avon. Sophomore. Desmond Ritter was terrific in this one. Hayden Moore looked sharp, and so Sopko gets a little time. There's Ritter. He was 20 of 26, 270 yards. Moore was 3 of 3 for 69 yards.
You know it's a good day when the third-string QB gets some PT. It's been a dominant performance by this offense from that very first possession.
Omar Fort makes the stop. Another Taylor Boos carry. And Cincinnati's going to be 5-0. They won just 4 games last year. First year for Luke Fickell. They won just 4 games in last year on Tommy Tuberville's run. And you can see, as Randy Edsall told us, you can't turn the battleship around right away. And he was talking about his team and this year and that young defense. The same is true for Luke Fickell in Cincinnati. Last year, they jump in. It feels like the battleship is turning.
Oh, it's definitely turned in the right direction, but he obviously, compared to UConn, has a lot more experienced players on both sides of the football, a little bit more dominant.
Yeah, a lot more in the cupboard, so to speak.
Yep.
Minute and a half left in this ball game. Cincinnati 49-7 lead. Randy Edsall takes the headsets off. And again, check in with this ball club in about 6-7 weeks and see how the freshmen have, see if they've matured on defense and the schedule gets a little kinder. They'll stop playing unbeaten teams, right? This is game 5, and every team they faced has been unbeaten going into that game. Marvin Washington getting time. That's a great throw there. Finds Aaron McLean. Good target to throw it to. I think McLean has opened some eyes today.
Yeah, but I think it was expected. Tall, lanky, athletic. Great target over the middle of the field.
Washington takes a deep shot, and it's incomplete. Yeah, McLean 4 catches, 97 yards.
And for Cincinnati right now, they want to play great defense. They know they're a top 10 defense in scoring and passing in the country, top in their conference, and they take pride in that. So they don't want to give up 3 points. They don't want to give up 7 points late and hurt those stats.
Washington scrambling, still alive. And takes a couple hits. That's a hard-earned 7 yards. Clock continues to roll.
Can't get enough credit to this defensive line, though, all night long, staying in their lanes. We haven't seen UConn, their quarterbacks, very athletic quarterbacks, get many opportunities to run the football tonight.
It's all over but the band leaving, and they are on their way out. Donovan Williams a catch. And he's down to the 35-yard line. And the band is exiting their seats. He got him going once, and the hope is he can get him going again. Xavier Scott in the backfield. Washington will throw it down the right sideline over the head of Donovan Williams. 33 seconds left. Second out 10. Washington again. Up the sideline. That's a terrific catch. And I think he made it. Well, it's Heron Marisol. Marisol, watch this catch.
Great job. I don't know. I think he bobbled a little bit.
I'm sorry. 49-7.
Don't review it.
There's no reviews.
No reviews.
26
and
seconds
also
left.
no holding penalties. Definitely a missed call right in front of the referee. Clear hold on the outside, but I think they're waiting for this game to get over as well.
Went just over the head of McLean. Washington shows a pretty good arm. Throws a tight spiral.
Needs to loosen up a little bit. Sometimes tries to throw the ball too hard. That's why we've seen a couple balls sail on him. Instead of putting a little bit of touch, he wants to put a pretty much a hole through everyone's chest, but he'll learn. He's another young quarterback who has to understand when to try to fit a ball in there and then when to take a little bit off and then create more accuracy as well.
When did you learn that? When did it sink in for you?
I still try to throw fastballs. I just don't throw it as hard as he does.
He escapes, fires it to the sideline, and it's broken up. Aaron McLean, the intended receiver, and Marquise Smith made this nice play for Cincinnati.
Cincy right now, they know, we talked about it, they don't want to give up another touchdown. These stats, they help confidence. If you're one of the top defenses in the country, you take pride in that. No matter if you're a starter or a backup third string guy, some of these guys in here right now are also getting some playing time which they're not used to.
Washington certainly mobile. And avoids a hit. 9 seconds left. This started as just a picture-perfect day here. Mid-70s. And it's finishing that way as well. Look at that sunset over Hartford. UConn came out, remember, scored on their first drive. It was an entertaining first half. And as you pointed out, UConn driving with a chance to tie it at 14. Stalled, missed a field goal, and after that, it was all Cincinnati. There's a bullet, deflected, incomplete. Javon Hicks on the coverage for Cincinnati. A reminder, we've got Boise State and Wyoming coming up in the Mountain West. Here in the American, Cincinnati's going to 5-0. After 2 down seasons. It feels like the Bearcats are back. Just a snap, and that's it. I think everybody's taking note now. Maybe under the radar to start with. They're starting to surface at 5-0.
Yeah, impressive win. Get to 5-0. More wins than they've had the previous 2 seasons, going 4-8 and 16 and 17. But we knew Cincinnati could play great defense. We knew they could run the football with Michael Warren. Desmond Ridder really impressed me tonight. I think that was the key going forward. If now you can keep defenses honest and not stack the box, I like that going forward for the Cincinnati team and for this offense.
49-7, the final here. The Bearcats at 5-0, and that's first time since 2012 they've been at 5-0, an impressive win. This young UConn team will try to regroup and get back on their feet. Coming up, we got Boise State and Wyoming. For Aaron Murray, our entire crew, I'm Rich Waltz. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Goodbye from Hartford. Take it back to our New York studios. Brent Stover, Houston Nutt, and Kevin Carter.